right, good evening everyone and welcome back once again to Trinity Competitive Racing. This is the season finale of season 14. It is round 14 and it is the last race of the season as well in all the classes, since this is the Platinum class coming out on track for the last time in this season. Welcome everybody to the Miami International Autodrome in Miami, Florida, USA for a 100% race distance season finale here tonight. We're going to be doing 57 laps, a total of 308 kilometers or 191 miles around this track. We're going to do the full race distance as I mentioned. 19 turns around here, 5.4 kilometers for a single lap, 3.3 miles, and some really nice high speeds, some really difficult corners, and a couple of corners that some of the drivers absolutely despise, like for instance that chicane at the turns of 14 and 15 that brings you out to that really big straight on the back. So we'll see how they're going to handle all of those things here, but I think overall, since the season is all decided, everybody's just here to have fun for one last race. There's still a couple of battles going on for some positions in the standings, but other than that, the Constructors and the Drivers' Championships have all gone to Red Bull this season, with B-Tom, your Season 14 champion, and Red Bull, the champions in the Constructors as well. Welcome once again, it's Blinn Machine with you guys in the booth, and tonight for a special race, we've got a special guest in the booth. It is Mr. Sensation coming back once again. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Blinn?
It's all good, man. Really excited to have you alongside. How's it been? What have you been up to lately?
Not much, man. A lot of work, a lot of trying to get better, because tonight I'm under the weather, so you got to bear with me. So if you hear some sneezing and coughing, don't panic. It's just me knocking down the back door. Don't worry about it.
No worries at all. Hopefully you'll survive through this longer race than usual. But
Yeah.
what are you expecting? 100% race. Obviously it's going to change the strategy a little bit. It's going to change maybe, how much the drivers push at certain stages of the race. But what else do you think we're in for tonight?
Okay. What is that? I don't know the track corners that well, but what is the section before Sector 3? Is that the end of Sector 2? Where the car is unsettled, the right, then the left, then the dip.
Yes. Yeah, that's the chicane I was talking about. Turns 13, 14, 15, and then into 16. That's kind of an area definitely a lot of drivers don't like around this track.
Right, and because it reminds me of, especially like this time, the dark shadows. It's like kind of like in baseball where you got the shadows coming in at 4 o'clock and you can't pick up the ball. It's the same thing that I'm seeing with this. It's like you can't pick up your breaking point, and I think a lot of penalties is going to happen there, or a lot of kind of touching and making a car spin out probably will happen too if you're following somebody close.
Yeah, this track is a new one for everybody. This is the very first time that we have raced around this track in TCR history, but silver, gold so far have had quite eventful races. I think it's been pretty interesting. There's been a lot of overtaking, a lot of battling for positions, a lot of side-by-side action, so I'm really hoping that we're going to see some more of that tonight. But you're absolutely right, that corner 14, 15, and 16, that's a really difficult sector, especially that left-hander to go into the right-hander of turn 15. It's just you can't see anything. You can't see where the bump is, where the chicane is, where the curb is, so it's extremely difficult to really get that one right. But we'll see if the Platinum class can do it. Usually they do, so we'll see what they do this time around. We started the session a little bit late, so it's almost pretty much the end of qualifying here. I think we've got only a few moments to go, but Forzan is back in the driver's seat for tonight as well.
Oh, wow.
And he's currently topping the provincial standings for qualifying. He's sitting there with a 127.1 and out on another fast lap right now, making his way into turns 7 and 8 and getting that pretty nicely. If you remember, Forzan was always really quick in qualifying, but he had a little bit of an issue making it to the end of races. Let's see if he can do it here tonight, but I gotta say, he picked out the hardest race to make it to the end of a race.
He definitely did. So, the driver championship, I pretty much knows that's B-Tom, and the constructors is the Red Bull, like you said before. So, does that make B-Tom Max Verstappen, and then TJ is Checo? Is that what it is now?
I guess so, kind of in a way.
Okay, so we're just basically playing for second place here.
Looking at standing, well, constructors, yeah, I mean, Mercedes has a pretty good hold on that at 314 points. Ferrari's in third with 185 coming into this race, so I don't think there's going to be a big battle there. The only battle I really think of is going to be in the standings for the drivers, which is same TJ and RR Silent, or he's changed his name, he's now no longer Silent. What is he now? I forgot. But anyways, he's not even here tonight. So Toaster, or no, sorry, not Toaster, same TJ has a chance of snatching away fourth place away from Silent. But other than that, yeah, first, second, and third are all decided in the drivers and in the championship, in the constructors championship as well. So I think these guys are just here to have fun tonight.
Okay, all right, that's okay.
Alright, we're in the last moments here of qualifying. We've got a few cars getting ready for their last laps, including B-Tom and C-Freeze and... oh, there he is. Equals Darth Vader. That's Silent, so he's here tonight.
Oh.
So Silent equals Darth Vader has a big battle with TJ there. They're currently separated by 7 points. Same TJ's trailing by 7. Our Silent... as at 126 and St. TJ at 119. So that's pretty much going to be the main big battle here tonight. We'll watch for that. Anything else you expecting tonight?
We're not going to get rain, are we? Because if you're talking about that sectors 13, 14, 15, that ain't going to be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, if we get some rain, that will definitely be exciting, but I don't think that will be the case. Let's watch B-Tom here on the hot lap. He's just made his way through the first 3 corners and then around the really long turn 4. And coming in now into this S section. Quick one to the left, one to the right, one to the left again, and then this really long left-hander that you kind of have to ride. This corner reminds me of China turn 1, but in the opposite direction. So that one's pretty tricky. Now he's on his kind of non-straight here from turn 9. It's got the DRS activated all the way down into turn 11. And now getting into the really tough stuff here, turn 12. And now into this 13, 14, and 15. You can't see anything as you're coming through these corners. He gets it really wide there through 15, but gets a pretty good drive through the rest of it, and he's invalidated his lap. So the best B-Tom is going to do here tonight is going to be P3, or P4, sorry, in qualifying. It looks like Cali Rob is aborting his lap. He's not going to improve. Everybody else is coming in. I think this is it. I think Forzan is going to be on pole position here tonight.
Yeah, looks like it. Hopefully, well, before I even say the next line, is the ghosting on or is ghosting off for this race?
No idea.
Okay.
But I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, he gets off to a great start, but it's just like once Forza gets a little bit of damage and then he has to, you know, get some repairs, he kind of loses that pace again. So, as long as he stays out of trouble, it's definitely a race that he will win.
Okay, so that's qualifying there. Forzan is going to be on pole position with the 127.0. We have TJ in second with 127.1, just 89 thousandths of a second behind. Mebi in third, B-Tom in fourth, Toaster is going to be starting fifth, Cali, Rob will start sixth, Eco's Darth Vader in seventh, Seafreeze in eighth, Budweiser in ninth, Bats Plus 10th. And then we have Chargers in 11th place, Sir Charles starting in 12th, Epic Wins in 13th, and Cam starting in P14 at the back of the grid. Hopefully, he will get up the positions there. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, if you guys are watching, sorry we didn't make any announcements to let you know that we're starting a little bit early. I didn't let Mr. Sensation know either. He kind of showed up very last second, and I thank him very much for making it very last
Yeah,
second.
no problem.
But we are getting ready here for the season finale of Season 14 of Trinity Competitive Racing. I can't believe I'm saying the end of Season 14.
The end of Season 14. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
feels like just a couple of days ago that I joined this league, and it was the middle of Season 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been quite a while here. It's been quite an enjoyable time. Wasn't really in the booth until Season 10 started, so but yeah, it's been quite a while both in the booth and behind the driver's seat. It's just crazy to think that TCR has had this many seasons, this many drivers coming through the league, this many special events and commentators and everything else like that. It is absolutely amazing. It keeps on growing all the time. But if you guys are watching, help us in growing. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and make sure you send in some comments, share out the video, check out all of the links in the description of the video. Our affiliate sponsor is down there. It's Fanatec, as you all should know by now, but definitely check them out. And we've got 10 seconds before we go to the lights. We're not going to have a formation lap.
Which is so sad.
Yeah, we're jumping straight into the race here.
Good
And
job,
there we go.
Codemasters.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights on.
Here we go.
And we go racing for the season finale. And it's going to be the 100% race here. Oh, a big mess up there from Forzan. Forzan had a massive wheel spin and lost a bunch of positions, and it's TJ and B-Tom now in first and second. Forzan trailing in third, and then we've got some incidents further back down. There's a big battle here between HVAC Toaster and Cali Rob, and Budweiser is out of the session. I think he got disconnected.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's interesting. You got only Sir Charles on the softs. Everybody else is on the mediums. Why is that?
Yeah, Sir Charles starting on the soft tire. I think he's probably going to try and do the one stop from the soft to the hards, although I'm not sure if it will work exactly the same way in a 100% race as it will in a 50. The other thing we got to really look for is, will this game compound the tire wear and make it last for longer in a 100% race, or is it going to be lasting the same amount of laps as we're normally used to in a 50% race?
Oh, well, then now that you said that, then that means in a 50% race, what, the softs only lasted, what, like 6 laps, 7 laps, something like that?
Depending on the track, yeah, but no more than 10.
So if it's 100, then it'll be maybe 15 to 20. Maybe.
I'm not sure, but I mean, if we were to do a 50% race here, I think the softs around here only last for about 10 laps or 9 laps or so. So they should last for about 18 or so. But the predicted tire strategy is saying a two-stopper. From mediums to softs at the end, or a medium to a hard. I think we're going to see some mixes of those strategies. I think most of the drivers here are going to be going for a medium to a hard, and then if you really need to, you throw on a soft right at the end.
Spinner. Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers have spun. That's Plus and Budweiser's have already had to make a visit into the pits. And there's a big battle here between TJ and Toaster for P4, and they have a big train of cars behind them as well. Everybody's trying to get up ahead. Everybody's trying to get used to this track as well. The camera angles around here make it extremely difficult to figure out what part of the track they're on. So I'm going to have to look on the map more than I'm really looking on track here tonight.
Yeah, the sections are definitely different than the tracks that we're usually used to seeing. So, can you imagine how the Vegas one is going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty ridiculous. I mean, in the game, how are they going to show us any camera angles? Although they do okay in Monaco, so I feel like maybe because they have the limitation of the buildings all around, they're going to have to put it in more realistic positions on the track, like you would see on the actual broadcast. Back to the track we go here as this battle continues on. This is a pretty good angle here as we get a view from the helicopter above, as TJ is trying to make up a position on Toaster. Toaster is kind of slow through a couple of corners here as TJ closes up more and more, but it's very, very difficult to overtake on this track. You really have to do it in the DRS zones, and speaking of DRS, it's been enabled on this lap.
Uh-oh, there it is. Oh.
B-Tom with a big one here on Mebe. Gets around him on the outside of the corner, which is really interesting there, but he gets a position done there. It looks like TJ is trying to make a move on Toaster. He makes the move, he gets through, and now Cali Rob was kind of looking at Toaster as well to try and take that position away. I think Cali Rob might have gotten himself a warning there, ran a little bit too wide through the chicane. Seafreeze on the back of Cali Rob. He's got the speed, he's got the pace, he's having a look. And nothing's going to happen just yet. Not enough. But there's a spinner in front.
This is spinners.
Spinner in front. I think it was B-Tom.
No,
B-Tom has spawned, and he's going to lose a few positions there. And that advances Mebby into second and TJ into third.
I forgot to mention that last corner where you can't go full throttle on it. You want to, but you really can't. The car is very unsettled.
And it does look like ghosting is enabled here tonight.
Okay.
So we shouldn't see too many big incidents, but I'm sure we're still going to see a couple here and there, as we've seen so far. I mean, the biggest incident so far is B-Tom spinning on his own. Other than that, we haven't really had anything too crazy, so that is nice to see. Oh, and here's a big battle now. It's TJ, it's Mebe, and it's Toaster joining the battle as they're coming through turn 10 or an 11. Oh, they're going to be side by side there between Mebe and Cali Rob, and Toaster.
Oh, he pushed him off.
Yeah, it looks like he gets through. It was, I would say, relatively clean there. TJ is up into second, maybe into third, and Toaster down to fourth place in a matter of a couple of corners, losing a couple of spots there.
Well, see, this is the part where usually in that section, I think we'd have been looking at a safety car right now, but due to the fact that ghosting is on, we won't really have to worry about that.
Oh, we're still going to have safety cars if somebody does a big one. So I'm sure that will come up.
True.
if somebody
Sector 3.
crashes into the wall or something. Oh, we've got a yellow in Sector 3. I think that was just a momentary spin there from Sir Charles, possibly. It
Maybe.
looked like the Haas.
Okay.
So it's either Cam or Sir Charles. You'll have to excuse me if I got that one wrong. Cali Rob now still on the back end of A-Track Toaster. Doesn't really have enough pace to make an offense or an offensive move on him, but he keeps on putting on the pressure for now. And we will keep watching those battles here. Lots of people are within DRS of each other. Pretty much most of the field, about 80% or 90%. The rest are not too far behind. At the front, it's still Forzan. Forzan is holding it down. He's doing quite well right now. 4.6 seconds ahead. He had the pole position. He had a horrible start with lots of wheel spin. Lost 2 positions off the start and then regained it all back again. Not sure if there was any contact with that B-Tom spin or if B-Tom just spun on his own. But yeah, Forzan out in the lead by 4.5 seconds.
And you guys still got Budweiser still ghosting around the track too, so that's kind of unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be able to get back into the car. Forzan is looking pretty good right now.
And look at this, Seafree's under pressure here from Eco's Darth Vader.
Wow, this looks very, very intense. This is like just nothing but speed. Just one car after the other, just zooming by. Just.
Yep, and we are on lap 6 now. We've still got quite a while to go. Over 50 laps still to do here tonight. We'll see how that's all gonna turn out, but for now it looks like the midfield is locked in a massive DRS train. They're all following each other and they're all very close on pace and on everything else. We'll see how that's gonna go here. Who's the closest between them? Looks like Cali Rob might be the closest to A-Track Toaster, but once they get on that straight, A-Track Toaster has a little bit of extra speed, and he just manages to gain a bit of time there.
Oh yeah. I give props to Seafreeze and his Italian helmet. Looks like he's trying to be like he's trying to be like Charles Leclerc, but he always makes fun of me for the fact that people take time to create their helmets or their designs, and some people do take the time and make a helmet look very very unique. Kind of gives life back to the game.
Yeah, I like the fact that in this game you can design your race suit and your liveries and your helmet designs and all that kind of stuff. Change the colors of your gloves. That is quite nice compared to a few years back on the Formula 1 games. You couldn't really do any of that kind of stuff. So that is pretty nice.
I will ask you this question though, which is probably a definite no, but I don't think you actually take the time to do that what is it, that lifestyle with the coffee table and the sofa and
when I first got the game, I did all that. I just wanted to try out everything that was included in the game, obviously, but yeah, no, I just did that once, and I think you kind of just leave that be. There's definitely people that enjoy that. There's all kinds of different new designs that get released every few months in the new updates. So some people like to get those, but I'm more into the game. Honestly, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you honestly, most of the time I get on this game just to practice for Tuesday race, and then to race on Tuesday, and then to do the commentary on Thursday. Other than that, I pretty much don't even have time to do any other racing on this game or on any other game. But I have been playing a couple of other games recently as well. Kind of been more into like first-person shooters recently. I haven't really been playing those ever before, but kind of getting into different things now.
Well, yeah, you're the first. I think you, if I'm not mistaken, you do the war games, the like the not the war. What is it called? War Tank?
War Thunder?
War Thunder. Thank you.
I've played that one a couple of times. I'm not like huge into it. I don't play it right now, but there's another game that is made by that same company
Really?
that I just found out about a little while ago called Enlisted, and that
Enlisted.
one, yeah, and that one is pretty crazy. Like it's more like World War II realistic type of thing.
Really?
So you can get like killed with. You don't have like scopes. You only have like iron sights and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty.
Wow.
It's very, very, very fun, but
Okay.
also really difficult.
Okay, so you kind of reminded me of that the series of Medal of Honor. That was a
Yes.
great series. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like that, but it's online, right? So it's made for like
Okay.
a little bit quicker pace, a little bit more exciting gameplay. They didn't focus too much on the graphics. They focused more just about like the bullet travel and like all of that kind of stuff and
That makes sense.
recoil.
Physics. Okay.
Yeah, all the physics and stuff. So and it's free. It's free to download. It's free to play. You can like get like extra things in the game if you wanted to buy stuff, but the game itself is free. And yeah, it's lots of fun. So if you ever have some free time, check that out. But yeah, Formula One, I gotta say, the games have come a long way in recent years. Even though we complain about the glitches that are in it, I feel like
So,
most of the glitches are originating from the fact that Codemasters and EA are trying to deliver new games as quickly as the real like tech develops
Yeah.
in the sport, and it's just so difficult to do that, right? Like if you compare, let's say, soccer and FIFA games to Formula One games, now that they're all under the umbrella of EA,
Right.
nothing changes in the sport of soccer over the last
No.
100 years, right? It's been pretty much the same concept, whereas Formula One has like it changes from season to season. The regulations, the way that the cars work, the engines, the turbos, the batteries inside of the cars, some of the rules of the operations in the pits, and tire blankets, tire sizes, wheel sizes, to adjust to all of that as quickly as like we as players expect them to do that, it's kind of unrealistic. So overall, looking at the game, I think they've done an incredible job in recent years to really improve on the overall game, on the
Right.
overall structure and the model and the handling and things like that. But yeah, gameplay, especially online, has suffered because of that. So I'm really hoping
Yeah.
that they might take a step back in the next couple of years. We're not really changing the engines or major regulations until like 2025. So maybe they'll have a chance to kind of focus on ironing out the little glitches in the next couple of games.
Yeah, it's crazy, and also it's not a cash cow as the other games, FIFA and NHL, even Madden, because it's card based, so that microtransaction, they're digging in the pockets. Formula One, the best microtransaction you can do is purchase a bundle of drivers that's basically retired, except for like one, just to have for your my team, and it's just like,
or you buy a
okay.
table for your lifestyle room.
Right? Get that clock that has Max Verstappen's face in it. I don't. It's just it's real sad. I do like the fact that they brought a couple of old tracks back. I don't know if they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna do Malaysia or Hockenheim as another DLC. I think they're supposed to get another. I think another track is supposed to get added. I'm not sure.
I think they need to put Turkey on here. I know
Turkey?
we've
Yeah.
I know we've only raced there in recent years once, and
Yes.
it was a substitute race, and it was kind of last second. But I feel like that was one of the most exciting races in recent Formula One history. Like the track was so slippy. They had the brand new pavement on there, if you remember, and
Yeah.
nobody could get anything done. As Cali Rob there runs a big corner at the chicane of turns 14 and 15. He just cut it completely, and he gets himself a 3-second penalty. Not
Yeah.
gonna help himself out. But yeah, they brought China back on, which was
Yes, they
an
did.
amazing track to drive on. I definitely missed it. I haven't actually tried it on this new game yet. I should and see if I
It's
like
good.
it anymore.
It's good.
And then yeah, they should bring on Turkey. They should put on Hockenheim. Honestly, that should be the expansion. If you want to pay extra for anything inside the game, they should have like the classic track package, and you can download the classic track package, and maybe they can throw in like a couple of cars, classic cars into there, and say, okay, like we're not gonna overload you with 20 different classic cars. Just have two, or like three or something, and have like 5 classic tracks, and just go out there and like how they have the Pirelli hot laps and all of those special events.
Right.
Do a classic one, and then just do it for fun, do it for time trial times and some stuff like that.
It'll work. I hear you. It'll work, but when it comes to the classic cars, people are going to argue about that because they're going to think of bronze. The bronze team has to be there first, and then you have Schumacher's car with the Ferrari of
And a Senna car, yeah,
and the Senna car.
and the McLaren of Mika Hakkinen, the MP412C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even they'll throw in Hamilton's car. You know, it's tough when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that really should matter. It's more about the tracks, not more or less about the car, really.
It's true, yeah. I feel like even if you like get a really old school track and put the brand new cars on it, oof, that's gonna be a challenge and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a yellow. Looks like somebody has spun. Is that Budweiser?
TJ?
No, it's
TJ.
it is TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, TJ has spun. He has touched the wall as well. He's got a tiny little bit of damage now, missing the end
missing
plate
the
on
end
the
plate,
right-hand
yeah.
side.
Yeah. That's going to affect the downforce because he's dropping.
And we have another yellow now. I think it's it's a Ferrari. Is that Chargers? It is. Chargers spun it through turn 3 or 4. Everybody has trouble through that turn 3 turn. It's so weird because when you're coming through turns 1 and 2, and you're going into 3, it feels like, oh, this is a nice, easy corner. It just easily drifts to the right, nice and easy. You know, nothing really, nothing tells you that this is going to be hell on earth. But then, as you try to go through that right-hand corner of turn 3, the rear end just goes. It just absolutely goes on you, unless you are going at like 70% throttle. But you don't know that. Like it's so inviting when you look at turn 3. It's a really inviting corner to go full throttle through, and it spits you out every single time.
That's where it captures you. Yep. You gotta kind of coast through it. Oh, somebody just came back on.
That was Cali Rob. He had a
Rob.
massive lockup into the last corner, and then he decided he's going to go into the pits.
There you go. All right.
And
Gets out
TJ is
first.
coming in as well, and looks like Cali Rob also has damage on the front wing, so he's getting that changed.
Who gets out first?
Looks like the Red Bull did.
Yep.
Alright, so what's going on in the front there? CPI Forzan still leading the race right now, 6.5 seconds ahead. He's built out a couple more seconds on top of his lead in the last few laps there. We're on lap 14, so we've got 43 more laps to go.
Wow.
Let's see who's going to survive this one. So far, we've got all the runners still running in the race. Mabby in second place equals Darth Vader in third, and he's got Seafreeze right on his tail.
And the first person on the hards is TJ, so that's going to be interesting. He'll probably be moving up some places because everybody pretty much is on 13-lap old mediums.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a two-stop race here tonight because the mediums it seems like they're already fading off at around 15 laps time right now. The softs only lasted for 11 laps on Sir Charles' car. He switched over to the mediums 3 laps ago. So I feel like the hards are probably going to go for about 25 or 30 laps. And then they're going to need to switch over to another set. So in 30 laps from now, we're going to be on lap 45. If they can make it to 45, that's then the question. Yeah, do you take the risk? Do you fit on some softs? Or do you put on another set of mediums? With the latest update, you now get an extra set of medium tires in the race. So that has made strategies a little bit easier.
That is weird. Because it wasn't like that before, was it?
So it kind of was. If you remember on the previous game, we had control over how many sets of tires you can go into the weekend with, right? So ahead of qualifying, you could go for a softer approach or a harder approach or a balanced approach. If you went for balance, you would have you would have 2 sets of mediums in the race as long as you don't use the mediums in qualifying, because we didn't have the rule that you have today of start on whatever tire you want, right?
Right.
So we had to start on a tire we qualified on, and obviously that made the harder tire kind of an alternate strategy advantage to qualify on. So last season, if you didn't use that medium in qualifying, then yeah, you had 2 sets of mediums to use in the race. If you did use the medium in qualifying, you could still use that set. It was just slightly used.
Yeah.
Now, coming into this game, for the very first few months up until the latest update, you have, first of all, no control over tires whatsoever. So I don't know why they keep on showing us that screen of tire selection. It's completely pointless.
Right.
Right? Like, you can't do anything, so why are you showing this to me? And then when you go into the race, no matter what tires you use in qualifying, you only have 1 set of mediums to switch on to in the race. So if you're already on the medium, before the update, you only had a hard or a soft. Whereas now, if you start on a medium, you have another medium that you can switch on to if you wanted to, or you have the soft or the hard. So it's made it actually a little bit easier to figure out strategies and to go for kind of uncalled for strategies.
Right.
Because you can all of a sudden pit out of nowhere, fit on another medium, go until the end of the race under a safety car or something like that. Whereas before, let's say you have just pitted, you're already on a brand new set of mediums that you're intending on taking until the end of the race or something, and you don't have anything else to switch on to, but somebody beside you has like a set of softs or something, and they can just switch and undercut you right away. So it used to be a lot more difficult. I feel like this kind of makes things a little bit easier at figuring out strategies and makes it more interesting for people to actually go for those, risky strategies like that.
Now, since you just said that, I'm gonna say a stupid question here. Even though people say there's no stupid question. So if the softs are horrible in this game, right? What is the worst tire? The softs or the ultra softs?
Oh, I missed those purples. Well, again, we had such a different tire wear model on that game. When we had the choice for the hyper softs and ultra softs and all of those, the pink tires, the purple tires, oh my god, what was it? There were so many different colors. The red ones were the softs, and then we had the super softs, which were, I think, pink or something like that.
Something like that, yes.
And then we had the ultra softs, which were purple. And then there was hyper softs, and I don't even remember what color those were.
Was that white? Was it white?
No, white was the hards, and then there was also a super hard.
Or was it orange? No. Why would I think it's orange?
There was an orange one too. You're correct. One of them was orange. I think that was the ultra hard.
Okay.
Because there was multiple hard compounds as well during that season. We had what? Was that when they had 7 or 8 compounds to pick from?
Something like that. Yes. Yeah. Somebody in the chat has to say if they remember what year.
What colors? Yeah. What colors were the choice of tires? All of those, and how many were there? Was it 7 or 8?
It feels like it was. I feel like it was 7. I feel like it was 7. You might have to go back to the old F1 game. What was that? 16? 16 or 17? No, 16.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But yeah, the tire wear model on those games were completely different. Like I remember, you could fit an ultra soft. You could put You could put 5 laps of fuel in your car. You could go out there, do one hot lap, do a cool down, go for a second hot lap, and then go into the pits. And they were still at like 15% wear. They were at a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
Now you do one hot lap on the softs, and you're already at 15% wear.
Yeah. No matter what pressure you put the tires or.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the inters last longer than the softs. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we used to. I remember what was it, 2016 or 2015 game when I just started getting into league racing. We had somebody who did the whole race on a medium tire, a whole 50% race on a single compound, and they didn't pit, and we didn't have a rule for like you have to pit.
Right.
So he did the whole race on the same tire. I think he might have actually pitted on the last lap, or like the one to the last lap or something like that. But that's how long those tires could last.
It's different times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely different times. I mean, now it's like, you got to learn how to balance your tire pressure to reduce the wear if you really take the time to do that. Most people just look for a setup and just say, hey, that's it, I'm good, which is not a good thing, I feel, because if you drive a certain way, especially if you're aggressive, I don't think it plays in your favor. Yeah, because I think that's where you start to wear your tires out quicker than usual for an actual 50% or even 100% race.
So that was 2018 when they had the crazy amount of tire selections, and there was 7 compounds. The super hard was orange, the hard was blue, the medium was white, the soft was yellow, the super soft was red. The ultra soft was purple, and the hyper soft was pink.
Pink, okay. Pink, wow. Okay. 2018. Yeah. If you try to play that game now, you'd be like, what in the hell is going on? Because I think it's slippery. I think it's like you was driving on ice.
Yep.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I mean the super hard was barely ever used. I don't think we've ever seen that tire in race conditions. I think guys used it in practice once in a while. I kind of miss the extra tire compounds though, because it made things a little bit more unpredictable, right? When in the middle of the race, when a car would pit, or when you knew a car was about to pit, you didn't know what kind of tire they're going to put on, because they could put on an ultra soft and go for another stop, or they could put on a medium tire and do the rest of the race. Whereas now, like, we have the 3 choices, and you pretty much know exactly what the next team is going to do. Especially like as soon as the blankets come off at the start of the race, you're like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing. I know what your plan is. And then when you hear them come on the radio and say, oh, we're thinking about plan B, it's not too difficult to figure out
Oh
what
yeah.
Plan B is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're at Ferrari, you know, and they don't even use the first like 17 letters of the alphabet.
Right.
So they're like, we're thinking of Plan Y, Plan Y.
Right.
Charles,
Right.
do you approve? Do you approve?
Right. And I'm on board here with Forzen, and he has the fish helmet. He's deep diving.
Oh yeah, he's got the mohawk thing, the fin,
Yeah, I got the fish helmet going.
the fish
Man.
fish fin on his helmet. Well done for that. Hey, maybe that's helping. Maybe that's an aerodynamic device. He will be reviewed by the stewards after the race for an unfair advantage, illegal aerodynamic device.
That's funny. I was just watching. Now you said that, I was watching the '98 season with Ferrari and their the little device that they had. Oh, what was it? It looked like it was mirrors, but it wasn't. Some teams had like the high mirrors, and then it would kind of like spread outward. If you know that, if you ever seen that season, they kind of trying to certain teams. They kind of changed their aerodynamics, and Ferrari was one of them. You see these nasty looking high end plates that it looked real bad. It was just like, why is that on the car?
Well, I remember, I think it was Ferrari who had the F duct that had the little opening inside of the cockpit. So
Yeah.
on the straights, the driver had to move his knee to block the little like duct that was
Right.
inside of a cockpit, and it would like block off a little valve, and it would suck the car down a little bit more. Or no, it would not suck the car. Yeah, it would actually uplift it, so it would give it more slippery
Yeah.
through the straights. And then before you come into the braking zone, he would remove his knee from the opening, and it would apply all of the downforce into like the ground effect, and it would suck it back down to the ground to give him downforce.
Right.
So like technically it wasn't motor operated, so it was legal because it wasn't operated by the driver. It didn't actually like pull a lever or press a button or do anything like that, but it still got outlawed in the end.
Yeah, it was just your knee. Cali Rob.
Oh, Cali Rob with another 3-second penalty. I think that's a second one. Let me just double check. Yeah, he's got seconds of penalties to his name, and he's a little bit slow right now. Did he just have a moment?
I don't think he did. I didn't see anything wrong. See, Darth Vader is trying to escape the dark side, but he has B-Tom right behind him.
Yeah, if he's Darth Vader, then he's trying to avoid the Jedis. The Jedi B-Tom behind them, in the X-Wing.
So, got Chargers into some pits. I don't know if Chargers, I don't think he's going to retire.
Let's hope not. If you're into helmets here, B-Tom's got a really nice helmet. Kind of reminds me of the Ayrton Senna Brazil colors inspired helmet.
Yep, definitely is. See, that's pretty creative.
And he's got DRS on Darth Vader right now, using the Force.
Oh, man, he was close on that one.
Yeah, a bit of a lockup there, but there was also a lockup from Darth Vader, so they're both starting to feel a little bit of that wear on those medium tires. They've done 23 laps on them. So definitely I feel like the game kind of staggers the tire wear when we're doing 50% races and just makes the tire wear last half of what it's supposed to. So now we're actually seeing the full tire life that these tires are supposed to be able to do. Let's see how long these guys are going to take them. Cam has just pitted, and he's putting on a soft tire. So he's probably doing a little
Okay.
bit of a middle stint right now to try and get a few positions up, maybe gain a bit of extra
Yeah.
time on some of the guys, and then possibly overtake some people when they make their pit stops. We'll see how that works out. But we are not even halfway through the race just yet. And so far, we still got all 14 runners. Everybody's still here. Everybody's surviving. But let's see. I think last season we ran a 100% race, but I don't think it was a season finale. We ran a 100% race at Silverstone last season. Or was that 2 seasons ago?
Uh, your guess is as good as mine. I'm gonna say 2 seasons ago.
My memory is absolutely horrible, but yeah, I feel like when the 100% race is at the season finale, it kind of gives an excuse to some people to not show up for it. But I feel like maybe if we stuck it somewhere in the middle of the season, we would have a full grid racing the 100%. For the season finale, I feel like we should do what Formula E has been doing. A double header with double points up for offer for both races. That can change the championship in a snap of a finger, literally.
Hey, I say how about we just have a Formula E video game?
Yes, well, that too. I would love to see one. Those guys, honestly, those cars are so fascinating. So fascinating because I don't know if you've ever watched like the onboards with them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't use the brake pedal for the first like 50 meters of the braking zone, like 50 to 100 meters. They're just using their regen pedal on their steering wheel. And honestly, like that takes balls of steel because you're coming into a corner and you're like, I know I should be braking, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to regenerate some power back into the battery.
Just
and
the
then
way
I'm gonna
do that, man.
Yeah, and then slam on the brakes in the last 50 meters of the braking zone.
That is incredible. That really is.
Yeah, that sport is pretty crazy, and the whole like battery management portion of it as well. I remember seeing a couple of races where on the last lap people run out of power and they're in the lead or something and they lose positions and they go from a win all the way down to the back. There's been lots of crazy incidents, lots of crazy overtakes, lots of championship upsets in that sport. So I'm really hoping to see, maybe soon we'll have a Formula E game. I think Race Factor or whatever that game is called. I think, or R Factor.
R Factor.
I think that's what it's called. They have Formula E's in there.
Really? Okay. What? Because I would love to see a lot of those tracks. Is just amazing and beautiful. Seeing Rome. What is Rome? I like Rome. What was the newest track that they had this season?
I am not sure, but New York has always been one of my favorites.
New York.
What's the one that they do in Morocco? That one was pretty fun to watch as well. Berlin.
Berlin.
London was a good one. I don't think they brought it back for this season, but that was like in the first couple of seasons they used to race in London as well.
Is it? Did they race in Qatar?
I am not sure, to be honest with you. I don't have like a subscription for Formula E or anything like that, so I don't really get to watch it too much. Only in replays on YouTube.
I get to see it on because I have Fios. I get to see it on CBS Sports. Their sports network. Sometimes they'll do a review of a couple of races and they'll show. And it's kind of funny to see those drivers that are there. But it's funny because half of those drivers were young guys in Formula One that were struggling. That was in that young drivers program for Red Bull, and now they're fighting for world championships. That is so crazy that none of those guys get pulled, you know, pulled back into a driver's seat to say, hey, you know, give it a shot, you know. Stoffel Van Dorn,
Sebastian Buemi.
Yeah.
Gutierrez.
Jean-Eric Verne.
Yeah, Jean-Eric Verne. Yeah, that's true. There's, well, I mean, the most recent champion, De Vries, that kid came out of nowhere and freaking rocked it. He was the F2 champion before that as well, but he just did an incredible job. I love how Mercedes came into that. They won. They came in for one season, won it, and they're like, okay, we're out of here. Thank you very much.
They did. They really did.
Just a proof of concept. We just wanted to come in and show you guys we could do it.
Yeah. Hey, bye. Oh, okay. I guess, you know. But it's a different. It's different to watch it because it's not like, I don't know. It's just, it don't feel like Formula One, even though, you know, because, you know, for somebody that doesn't watch it, they'll think it's the same thing like anything else. They're like, oh, this is like IndyCar. Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. It's very different sports.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I remember the very early stages of it for the first couple of seasons when they had the Generation 1 cars and they had to switch cars in their pit stop because the car wouldn't make the whole race on a single battery. And then upgrading to Generation 2 and now into Generation 3 cars. And these cars are so powerful. Like, they go just as quickly and they have a lot more grip than the Formula 1 cars. So they actually like put down their power into the ground a lot more efficiently than a Formula 1 car does. And because of that, a lot of the drivers saying it's just a lot more physical. You actually have to like fight the car to get it into the corner like where you want it to go. And the acceleration, like, I'm sure they have to handle some pretty hefty G's with electric acceleration.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty much instant, so.
Is there anything going on in the comments?
So Sequit said, "Go Red Bull boys," and he also said, "I'm enjoying my retirement." I kind of asked him if that is his way of making an announcement that he is retiring.
Right.
If that is the case, I mean, yeah, congratulations to Sequit. Enjoy your retirement. You've made your mark on the league, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we also lost Chargers. I think he retired in the pits. He's had enough of today. He's done the 50%, and he said, okay, thank you very much, as we are now halfway through.
I don't think a lot of guys can go 100% distance. You're so used to 50. When you say 100, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, that's what she said. Not many guys can go the distance.
Oh, my God. That's true. That's true.
HVAC Toaster here closing up on TJ. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a battle here in just a moment. Speaking of retirement, we had a big name retiring this season from real life F1, Sebastian Vettel. Big name that we're losing from the sport, big personality, obviously an idol of many a person, myself included. How do you feel about people like, you know, Vettel, the possibility of maybe Lewis retiring in the next few seasons? Alonso, possibly, you know, he's probably not going to race for too long. But how do you feel about Vettel in particular retiring?
I mean, yeah, he did do an impact. I like Vettel. The only time I didn't like Vettel, which I think was a year that I felt Mark Webber should have got a championship when he was at Red Bull. And they were bickering. I was surprised that last race that Weber actually showed up. Oh, we got a spinner, and that's Seafreeze parked in the middle.
Oh, Seafreeze, that turn
Losing.
15 finally catches him out. I think he probably caught the inside bump on the apex of turn 14, and that likes to throw the car out.
Oh boy, it's got some high tires. So, but yeah, I was surprised. Weber actually showed up. He shook his hand and congratulated, and just went about their business. I think they respect each other in a professional sense, but I it's I think it's hard to upset people from Australia because they have that laid back, cool demeanor. But I think it's like once they get crossed, it's like, yeah, you stay on your side, I stay on mine. Daniel Ricciardo was like that because he was all happy and the Badger and smiling, and then Red Bull.
He's coming home. Yeah, he's coming home to Red Bull, just like Horner told him in what was it? In between the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He told him come home, and now he's going to be the reserve driver. Depending on how Sergio Perez does next season, I feel like if anything, they probably put on Ricardo as third driver, just for that, just to push Sergio to do a little bit more next season, just a tiny bit extra to prove that he deserves that spot. Because like Horner and Ricardo have a really good relationship.
Yeah, but do you really got to push Sergio though?
Well, I mean, he's done really well. They want him in that second driver spot for the next little while to help out Max. But at the same time, they have a brilliant driver who they've worked with before, who they know, who they also know likes the way that their car works. And Tom retires from the race.
Oh.
Right on the exit of the pits, he decided to retire. But, I feel like, having that sort of a driver in the back pocket, it creates additional pressure. And I'm not saying that they maybe have to push Sergio more than what he's doing now, but it creates an opportunity for somebody else to step into a spot in the case that he doesn't deliver at least to the same level that he did this season. So if next season all of a sudden Sergio is struggling, whether it is on the track or mentally or in competition with Max, or they're getting tangled up or something like that, they've got Daniel in the back pocket. Now Daniel and Max had a very hectic relationship as drivers on track, especially. So that could also be a little bit of extra fire that maybe they don't want to throw into the mix. But it's just interesting. I'm just happy, honestly, that Daniel is not jobless for next season. It's amazing. He's staying in the sport. He's staying close to it. He's going to have a chance to keep on showing what he can do in a different capacity next season, but hopefully that will get him a chance for a drive in the next season after. And we never know what's going to happen in between. I mean, who was expecting Schumacher to lose his spot this season at Haas? A couple of seasons ago, when Haas got Schumacher and Mazepin into the team, when they completely switched up their driver lineup, they were 100% committed behind a young driver lineup with a brand new car, with a brand new approach to putting the car together. They put so much of their trust and confidence in that. They were like, yeah, this is the new way for Haas. Young drivers, young talent, we're going to just go the Red Bull route. And just 2 seasons later, Mazepin is gone. Well, for different reasons, but still, he's gone. They got Magnussen back in, who drove for them just 2 seasons ago. They came back to the good old and the known. And now Schumacher is gone, and we don't even know 100% who's going to be in his spot.
Well, I think the thing with Schumacher was that he would a lot of young drivers, I think they get rushed too quickly.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is. You know, it's like you can't expect somebody to go from, you know, Formula, was it Formula 2 or Formula 3, and then go to a F1, and the components of the car is way different, and it's so much. I can imagine how much information on that steering wheel you have to learn to get out of situations and to maintain something consistently for, as we're looking at it, 57 laps, and you know, go down to this this mode and this mod, and then switch over to this. If that doesn't work, then this, go to this. And it's like, what the hell are they talking about? And you gotta like know that stuff. And you know, even some of the greats that, you know, they it happens to them. They but for, I think what they should have did is have Mick with an older driver to kind of learn, and then kind of get it, you know, like mentor him to, all right, you know, like this is how it goes, learn step by step. I think then maybe his driving career for Haas would have been a little different. You know, I don't think they would have been too hard on him, because it's like, all right, he's learning and he's getting it. And HVAC Toaster has retired.
Oh, HVAC Toaster has retired. He's actually crashed out, and we have a safety car.
Okay, and we got a ghost car of Cali Rob.
Yes, we do. Cali Rob also has a bunch of penalties to his name, but yeah, HVAC Toaster had an actual crash. Coming out of turn, what is that, 17. He had a spin there. Looks like he had to hit the wall, and he's out. Seafreeze pits. Comes out on brand new mediums. He's definitely intending to take those until the end of the race. Where's our leader right now? Forzan is halfway around the lap on the other side.
Yeah.
But I'm just interested to see if they are gonna pit Forzan, Mebe, and Darth Vader. They're on pretty brand new hards, but considering that Seafreeze is going on to the mediums, Cam is probably gonna pit if he gets a chance as well. So yeah, I think they're gonna have to pit. I think Forzan, Mebe, and Vader, and TJ, definitely TJ. He's done 21 laps on his hard tires, so he definitely needs to pit. This would be a perfect time for all of those front runners.
Can I ask a crazy, wacky question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, when people, like, you got this full safety car, right? I've noticed this. How come people never turn off their battery to let it charge up?
Because you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, we have no control over the battery during the race, except for putting it into overtake. The only thing you can do during the safety car is put your fuel down to lean and save some fuel if you need to.
That drives me crazy.
But it's pretty easy to save battery during a safety car, though. Like, you're pretty much saving it everywhere.
Yeah. But it just drives me crazy, because I never understood that, because, well, you know, I'm not league racing, but I'm just asking that question, because it's like, why don't you just turn it off and then you just charge your battery up instead of just staying at 20%? But then, now that you said what you said, so okay, it makes sense now. Okay.
Do you remember?
Now, you know, I'm thinking of the old Formula 1 game where you had to, yeah.
I was just gonna say, do you remember when we had the ones with the 5 battery modes?
Oh, yeah.
And we had to keep on switching between them all the time.
Yeah,
between corners and everything, you were going up and down between your fuel mix and battery. And there was also 3 different fuel mixes. There used to be low, medium, and rich, or lean, medium, and rich.
Lean, medium, and rich, yeah.
So wow, I mean, it kind of seems like we have to do less now during the race, but at the same time, we kind of still have to do quite a bit during the race on our steering wheels.
Well, it was a long time ago where
Yeah.
when I first started playing Formula One and talking about PS1, and you only had two compounds to worry about. That was slick and hard. That was it.
Yeah, the prime and the option.
Or for later versions, yeah, prime or the option.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Man. Oh gosh, playing those Formula One games, especially the first one, it was just you couldn't tell how how worn out your tires were until you entered the pits to change them.
Mm-hmm.
And the fuel, you couldn't look at it until you got into the pits. So there was no pressure gauge to see your fuel. There was no tire reading. There was just instinct. So it was like, if I'm at Brazil and it's 71 laps, okay, I already raced over 43 laps. Okay, is it time to pit or not? And when you found out if your tires were worn, let's say you're on a straight, the back end would start to slide out from underneath, and you had to try to catch it and try to get to the pits, and then you're like, okay, yeah, it's time to change the tires. It was, I don't know, it was, to me, I think that was better than just seeing it all the time, like, oh, okay, it's just natural instinct to know when to go into the pits and when not to, to just stay out.
Yeah, I remember when I first started sim racing and league racing, I think I was on F1 2015 or 2016, and we had forums where we would talk about like the race instead of like Discord or anything else like that. We were all in the same voice chat together. It was like 15 or 12 people or whatever, all in the same voice chat together. There was like, oh man, it was just so different. Like, we would just look for people randomly online. We would like invite them in, and like sometimes people would show up, sometimes they wouldn't. It was just so all over the place. And now there's like leagues, there's everything. It's come such a long way. Sim racing is like just as much of a sport as real racing now. It's pretty crazy.
It definitely is. The only thing that's missing is the bad weather conditions and the different flags. You don't see it's funny, I was looking up a YouTube video to see, is there any does the game actually have a red flag? And you had to go back to, I think it was 2011 or 12. And somebody tried to do it in Monaco to see if the race would get red flag and restart, and it actually did.
Wow.
It took a while, but it actually did.
That would be fun if they brought in a red flag. Honestly, the main thing I've been asking for since I became a commentator is to have a commentator mode. So instead of just a spectator, like you could be a spectator, but you could also change it to commentator, right? And then we could have, let's say, additional information that we can display on the screen. You know, showing the tire wear information of the drivers. Like, they did that at the start of the game, and then they removed it in one of the updates. Yeah, because they had too many bugs with it, and it wasn't displaying correctly, and it like was doing all that kind of stuff. I think for that we also have to be in like immersive mode for the safety car, where we don't do that. We just run it in like regular mode.
Okay.
But like, just extra information. Just give us more information that we can display, more camera angles that we can use for the stream, and things like that would really help out. You know, I feel like they can easily make that happen. So we'll see. But we're about to get restarted here. Safety car is coming in, and the race.
Remember that dip. Remember that dip.
Yeah.
Because if Forsen, he likes to get aggressive. So when he goes around that corner,
He's not going for it quite yet, but I feel like he's going to go now,
wow,
and yes,
what
he
a start.
does.
What
And
a
he
start.
gets away pretty well. Yeah, he's already a second ahead.
Wow.
Great restart from Forzan. Maybe sticking in second place. No real big moves happening anywhere. We're down to 11 runners here with about 18 laps to go.
What's going to happen in 18 laps? It's a whole new race now.
Yeah, it's brought everybody back together, especially in that mid-pack. They were really close together for the first, I would say, third of the race or so, and then they kind of split up after their pit stops. So we haven't seen some DRSing and side-by-side racing in a while. Hopefully we'll see some now.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah, I actually got a cool little package in the mail today. I'm trying to get all of the hats of every single F1 team that's currently on the grid right now. I was missing 3 of them, and I got 2 today. I got Alfa Romeo and Williams. The only one that's still missing is Haas. And one of the main reasons for that is Haas doesn't sell their merchandise on the F1 store. They only sell it on their own website. And
that's why. Okay.
Yeah. And it's a little bit expensive to ship their stuff to Canada. It's almost as expensive as shipping stuff from Europe. So it's going to cost me about $50 US to get a hat over here, even though the hat was on sale for $16. It cost me like $38 US to ship it.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
I understand you're international somewhat in a sense. Because you're still close to the U.S.
It's so silly. It is so silly, honestly. I don't know why it's so expensive to ship from the U.S. to Canada.
But wait a minute. Is it expensive to ship from Canada to the U.S.?
Not as expensive. So I could probably send a package down, depending on which state it's going to, for between like 20 to 40 bucks Canadian. Which is like, I don't know, 15 to like 25 bucks US.
Right.
But apparently the other way around is super expensive, and we have to pay duties on it too.
What?
Yeah, so I'll probably have to pay another like few dollars in duties on the hat because it is an item of clothing that is coming over the border. Yeah, it's so silly. Canada is so weird with all of their rules about import and export and duties and like my other hobby other than like sim racing and stuff like that is airsofting. I really got into that this summer. I have a field not too far away from me, and just this year our government decided that they're gonna ban the import of airsoft parts and rifles and guns from abroad into Canada. So it's like, really, I just get into the sport, I just get interested in it, and now I can't even get anything anymore because apparently they don't want us playing like war games because it influences society in a negative way to like, you know, whatever. But the main danger apparently that they're trying to put through is the fact that an airsoft gun looks so much like a real gun that it can be mistaken by law enforcement for,
I understand that.
Yeah, for a real gun, and like it could create, you know, a dangerous situation where you can, you know, get shot or something by law enforcement. But I just feel like it's so silly. One of the ministers that was trying to support this plan and this law was saying that airsoft guns can easily be modified for real ammunition. And it's like the silliest thing you can say because they're made out of plastic. So the first shot you're gonna try and fire out of it, it's just gonna blow up.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's just rules like that, and like just to compare, for instance, for our firearms, like if you look at, let's say, Texas, right? Great
Yeah.
example for like how free you can be with firearms and what kinds you can own, and extended magazines, suppressors, custom stocks, and everything else like that is allowed. In Canada, in Ontario, where I live, you're allowed no more than 5 shots in a magazine. So all the magazines you can buy here are limited, and like they're drilled and pinned to only fit 5 rounds. You're pretty
Wow.
much not allowed to own any handguns anymore. Before that, you needed a special license to own a handgun. Now, with this new law, you can't even own handguns at all. You can't own any assault rifles, like AKs, M16s, ARs, all of that kind of stuff has all been banned for years and years.
Right.
You can't have Uzi, you can't have like Tavors, you can't have anything interesting and good and fun. Pretty much we're limited to like 22s and 9 mils and maybe, a shotgun here and there. But that's it. Like nobody, we can't really have fun weapons, and that's why I went for airsofting, because I'm like,
fun weapons. M16s are fun weapons. I can't.
yeah, an AR or something. Of course, those are fun.
What the hell? I can't.
So that's why I went to airsoft, because I'm like, hey, I can have an AR, I can have a machine gun, I can have a Uzi, I can have like whatever I want.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Canada is just so weird with all of our laws and
Canada.
stuff.
That's I always wanted to know how it was for baseball, because when a player gets paid and they live in the U.S., I guess they get hit with double tax.
If you live in Canada and you work abroad, you make the majority of your income abroad, then you just have to report your taxes for that particular country to Canadian government to let them know, like, hey, I did make a living, but I didn't make it here in Canada, so I don't actually owe you Canadian taxes. And in that case, in some cases, even if you make like 100K somewhere in the US or another country, but you live the majority of your time, or like you spend a long time in Canada, they might just tell you like you're tax exempt because of it, or you might even still get a refund on your taxes, because some years, depending on how much tax you pay, we get a refund at the end of the year, and we get like a check from the government back.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, like,
nice.
if you live in or if you live in Canada and work in the U.S., most U.S. companies will actually pay you through a Canadian intermediary in Canadian dollars. So like a payment processing company or something like that.
Right.
Because otherwise it just complicates taxes so much. Because then they have to file a bunch of like T14s or whatever they're called, like to show that like they're employing somebody who's tax exempt in their state, but then that person has to report it to their own government. It just makes it so much more complicated.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, back to the race here.
Yes,
We're
yes.
on lap 44 of 57. Still got a few more laps to go. Forzan still holding on to the lead, 2.5 seconds in front. Mebby in second, Darth Vader in third, and we're watching this battle for third position here. TJ starting to catch up to Mebe, might be making a move here soon.
Yeah, it's been pretty stand still a little, so far, but I know these guys will be happy when it's all over and said and done, and they can just pack it up. But my question to you, sir, is what's going to happen with you for next season? How did you look at your season in silver?
This season in silver was a big mess. For me personally, I got crashed into a bunch. I got taken out of a couple of really good races. I
Mhm.
had some connection issues.
Right.
Um, Everything kind of went downhill, especially after the second, like after the break. So the second half of the season
Mhm.
kind of really went downhill. The first half of the season, I at least had like a win. I had a couple of podiums, and then after that, I think I only had one podium in USA Circuit of the Americas. So the last race before this week.
Yeah. Ooh, TJ.
Oh, Darth Vader goes wide, gets a 3-second penalty, cuts that chicane. TJ's right on his back now with the
He
DRS.
should.
I feel like he's gonna probably make that move.
He should pass him. I
But yeah,
think
for
he's gonna
next
pass him.
season, to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure if I'll be racing.
Okay.
I am not even 100% sure if I will
Oh.
be commentating either.
Oh.
It
Okay.
all really depends on my family. I've obviously got my little one. He's gonna
Oh, that's
be
right.
a little bit over a year old, so he's gonna
Uh-oh.
require a bit of attention.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Other than that, just honestly, I have the kids living with us right now, so we have 3 kids at home and a full-time job and taking care of the house and everything else like
Life.
that. Yeah, it's taken
Yeah.
a lot of time. I think I'll probably still commentate. I think, if I don't race, then I'll definitely still commentate at least on Thursdays on the Platinum class, try to keep up with that.
Mhm.
I'll definitely, stick with my position as head of commentary and creating the the commentary packages every week, and creating the schedules and doing the stewarding for either the platinum or the gold class, or maybe even silver if I'm not racing in it. So I'll still try to keep up with all of those, but racing requires a lot more time. You can kind of see that if you go back to like season 10 when I was a runner-up in silver class. I was
Mhm.
practicing like 3 or 4 times a week.
Right.
I would do solo practice in time trial and Grand Prix mode, and then we would meet up to do some practice together with my teammate and with other people in silver class. I just haven't had any time to do that, and you can see that in the quality of my racing this season. Definitely kind of went down from what I know I can potentially do.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's no real point if I can't put in a little bit of extra time into it, if I can't dedicate at least a couple of days for practice before the race, then there isn't really a point for me racing at that, like that.
Yeah. That's understandable. That's understandable. As you was mentioning that, I was following TJ, and he is like all over the back of Darth Vader that he cannot get past him. I don't know if he doesn't have enough straight line speed, or Vader just has very good car placement, because okay, he finally got around him, as I mentioned that. Oh, they just collided. There's a lot of touching going on.
It's not over yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Oh.
are bumping and touching all over the place, but TJ squeezes through for now for P3. And now he's going to have to defend back from Darth Vader, but Darth is down to just 13% battery, so he's not going to be able to use his battery. He's just going to have to rely on DRS. DRS is powerful, though. Here he comes.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And they're going to
Who's
be side by
outbraking who?
side again. But looks like
Oh.
Darth Vader's back out in front.
Yeah. TJ just wiggled.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to have a couple of months off before the next season. If you guys are watching and you're interested in joining TCR, just to give you a quick kind of overview, we have 3 classes: silver, gold, and platinum. Silver allows for some minor assists, such as medium traction control and ABS. And then golden and platinum class only allow the racing line, and no other assists are allowed. That's pretty much the difference, other than the fact that silver races on Tuesday, gold on Wednesday, and platinum on Thursdays. Usually we race at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are a North American-based leagues. So most of the drivers are in either Canada, US, or some of them are in the Caribbean and South American countries. We do have a few drivers from Europe. We welcome everybody from every region. So if you are interested in joining, check out the links in the description of the video. But most of the drivers are in the US, and we definitely race on North American time. So it's a little bit easier for people in North America to race with us. Check out all the information on that, and I think if my memory serves me right, normally we get restarted with the next season after the Christmas break around the end of February or starting of March. So we usually get about a couple of months off or so.
Something like that until the new game arrives. Well,
yeah.
One more life out of this one in the new game is usually July, so.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, what is it going to be, the first year in a few years that we're going to be able to fit 3 seasons into a game, because the last couple, if you remember, they released them at really weird times. We had the last 2 were released in July, but the one before that was in April. So we ended up racing a couple of seasons per game up until I feel like this season, and now we're getting a little bit of extra time out of each game. And here comes TJ again on Darth Vader into turn 11. They're still side by side. Ooh, they're still side by side going into the really tight chicane. Big touch.
Oh, man.
Darth Vader had to go a little bit wide there. TJ still on the inside. Oh, and the touch of the wall.
Oh, boy. Who was at fault on that one?
It's really hard to say. That was really tough battling there.
Okay, gave him his place back.
Alright, so Darth Vader gets back in front. And looks like Seafreeze is joining this fight now, too, with 7 laps to go.
Yeah. These guys been going at it for a few laps now, so it only just helped out Seafreeze catch up.
I tell you what, also Mebe is starting to very slowly close up on Forzan. Just a couple of laps ago, he was at 2.1 seconds. He's down to 1.7 now, 1.8 or so. Keeps on going back down, so he is catching up. I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough. If he can get into the DRS zone the next couple of laps or so, he might have a chance.
He might have a chance, but I don't know. Forza seems like he seems hungry still. I think he's beyond due for a win here. As long as he keeps it penalty free and keeps doing what he's doing, he has it pretty much wrapped up.
TJ gets back out in front of Darth Vader there. That was a really good overtake. He made it stick through turn 12. And now he's just going to have to defend, but Seafreeze is also coming up on Darth Vader again. And it's funny because TJ and Darth Vader were battling for P3 on track here tonight, and they're also battling for P4 in the championship overall. So pretty close there in their overall standings, and it looks like right now, if everything sticks, that will be their championship standings as well. TJ will end up finishing in 4th, and Darth Vader will end up in 5th.
Nice. Did he take? Yeah, he took him.
Oh, they're still side by side, coming into turn 2 and 3. This one is a slippery corner here.
See, that's what
still side by side. Oh, this is crazy. Right towards the end of the race, this is what we like to see as well. Some exciting racing.
He's just looking to get 2 places. He's just hoping that they just knock each other into next week so he can just get the next spot.
And it looks like Mebe has started losing time back again. He's down to 2.3 seconds now with 6 laps to go. I don't think he's going to have another chance at the win here tonight. So Forzan just needs to bring it to the line to take this one. TJ going for a move on Darth Vader once again, and he makes it stick back up into P3.
I feel like somebody's going to hit that wall, though. It's just something.
TJ had a bit, or sorry, Mebe, or no, Darth Vader had a big twitch there. but keeps it on track. Manages to keep it going, which is nice. And we're coming really to the closing ends of the race and of the season. 5 laps to go in season 14. And what a season it has been. It's been a really tough one, I will say. You know, even though B-Tom had a pretty good season here in Platinum, for the first 2/3 of the season, it was pretty much anybody's championship. And it was going back and forth between him and 007 Professional and Seafreeze, and lots of other drivers were all involved in this battle this season. Same thing for Golden class. Golden was absolutely crazy in season 14. That was super tight all the way up until the last couple of races. And in Silver, I mean, that championship got decided right at the finale. There was people like Raiden Shogun who came into the season about halfway through and started winning races and started messing things up, you know, messing up the flow of the Silver class, which definitely added to the excitement for us viewers and commentators watching that. You know, all of the seasons, all of the classes this season, I feel like everyone has done really an incredible job. It was a really tough behind the scenes, I gotta say. There's been a lot of incidents that we as stewards had to review. We've had quite a few meetings where we've had to consider rule changes and you know, adjusting the rules to this new game because of certain things that might have been added in or taken out. There's been a huge effort on behalf of all of the commentators. I gotta say, you know, the commentary team this season has been a reduced one compared to previous seasons. There were seasons before where we had, you know, an abundance of commentators, where we had people fighting for positions in the booth and all asking to be in the booth as soon as possible, and we had to kind of shuffle them around and figure out who goes into where. This season was a little bit different. We kind of had a lot of people dropping out for school, for work, for all kinds of different reasons. So we had a really tight team of just about 6 or 7 people that could commentate this season, and I gotta send out a massive thank you to everyone who helped out this season in the commentary, in the stewarding, in the rules, in the you know, graphics department, all of that kind of stuff, social media management. There was a lot of work that was happening behind the scenes, so massive thank you to everybody involved in TCR. And yeah, I'm sure this league is just going to keep on growing. There's no other choice for it. It's already so big that it's too big to fail now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I feel like next season is going to be a big one as well. Season 15, that's a really nice kind of halfway number between 10 and 20. It's going to be a big season. We brought in crossplay this season, so you know, who knows what we're going to do for next year. There's going to be lots of cool stuff hopefully coming. All the special events that we're used to, the TCR Grand Prix, the All-Star Race. We're probably going to do another 100% race and some feature races for Gold and Silver class. I'm sure Seafreeze and the team will come up with something else to fit into next year. I'm really excited to see the calendar for what next season is going to look like, because we're not even sure, you know, what Codemasters is going to do and what kind of tracks they're going to add in between now and then. Maybe we'll bring back something like China onto the calendar. I would love to go back to China and race there. We've had some really exciting races there before in TCR. Seafreeze will probably not want to go back there. He's got some horror stories of his own bad luck around that track, so we'll see if he'll be fond of that idea. But yeah, I'm really excited for the future of this league. We'll see where it's going to develop into. And again, if you guys are interested in racing with us, check out the links in the description for this video.
Wow, as you know, I just realized before, he gets, as you were saying that, he gets the advantage of a ghost car, and he gets the DRS. It's just crazy. And not saying that, you know, that helps him keep the lead for most of this race, but it's just that little assist of a ghost car just going around the track, and you know, he's just slapping it over and over. And he's just getting the DRS detection zone all the time. It's just like, geez.
Yeah, I think Forzan here tonight has finally proved that he can definitely race. We've always known that he was quick. We've always known that he had the pace, especially in qualifying. He would usually dominate qualifying, you know, when he would show up to the races. But he just always had trouble making it to the end of the race. He would either spin out or he'd get into some sort of an incident. He took a bit of a break. We haven't seen him on the grid for, I want to say, most of this season. He was here at the start for a few of them, and then he wasn't here for quite a while. So maybe taking that break maybe helped him out. I know he also changed wheels in between, so maybe that was something that helped him out there. But yeah, it's definitely, finally, he's going to stand on the top step here as long as he can do another lap around this track. And yeah, he'll finally get the glory and the fame of what he deserves in TCR.
Oh, hopefully so. And on that note, I just have to take a quick break and I'll be right back.
No problem at all. We'll keep the viewers entertained here for a couple more laps that are left in this race. Let's go back to this battle here of Ecos, Darth Vader, and TCR TJ. And we'll see if they're going to stay as they are. I mean, Darth Vader now has 6 seconds, I think, of penalties. So he might even lose this P4 to Seafreeze if Seafreeze can stay close to him. Looks like Cam is going into the pits to fit a fresh set of soft tires. He also has a penalty to his name. There's a couple of penalties down in the last few positions here from about 6th to 11th. But yeah, this has been a really long season, a really long race as well. Somebody has spun in Sector 3. I hope it's not Forzan. Nope, it is not. So Forzan is still okay, still continuing on. Got about a lap to go to get, I think, his first win of TCR. I'm not sure if he's ever won a race in this league, but we will find out when we speak to him in the post-race interviews. And he has now started his last lap of this season, of this race. And yeah, pretty crazy to think that we have now been through 14 seasons of TCR. Sure, there's going to be more to come. At a certain point, we're going to have to like reset the count of the seasons or something to not make our logo too long. Maybe we'll figure out a way to like compound it.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright, you're just in time here for the last half a lap or so. Forzan's still in the lead, 3.5 seconds ahead. Mebby in second, TJ in third. And he's going to be probably holding on to that third position now, even though Darth Vader keeps on battling him again and again. But Darth Vader now has 6 seconds of penalties, so this is kind of a pointless battle here.
So that means Seafreeze go up to 4th.
Yep, it means Seafreeze will go up to 4th place. And TJ will keep 3rd, even if he lets lets Darth Vader by. But let's jump on board here with CPI Forzan. After many attempts, he finally gets his first win at TCR, and it's in the 100% race in the season finale of Season 14 here at Miami. Congratulations to Forzan with the pole position and the win. Very, very well done. Mebby in second place, TJ in third. Seafreeze is going to be in fourth. Ecos Darth Vader in fifth. Cam in sixth. Sir Charles is going to come home to finish in seventh. And then we have Bats Plus in 8th, Cali Robin 9th, and Epic Wins will get 1 point to his name as long as he actually finishes ahead of Budweiser, because how many penalties does he have? He only has 3 seconds, so he's okay. He should be able to keep that 1 point, and then Budweiser will be the last finisher in 11th place out of the 14
Wow.
starters that we had here tonight.
Wow, I'm surprised. I really thought it was going to be 7 drivers. I didn't think it would be this much.
Yeah, going into Miami, I was really thinking we would see more incidents in all three classes, but relatively clean all around. Most of the DNFs today were just people leaving in the pits. There was only one person that actually crashed, and that was HVAC Toaster. But Forzan is the man of the hour, gets himself that win, and he gets it when it really counted in a 100% race. He gets the glory of that.
Cam is the driver of the day.
And here's Forzan coming out to celebrate his win. Going up onto the top step of the podium, lifting up that trophy, and he's going to be spraying the champagne in just a moment to celebrate his win and celebrate an end of another really amazing and really exciting season here at Trinity Competitive Racing.
Oh, now I'm getting that. Bats plus fastest lap 129.2.
All right, so here's the final results here. Forzan with the win, Mebby in second, TJ in third, Seafreeze in fourth, Vader in fifth, Cam in sixth, Sir Charles in seventh, Bats Plus in eighth, and with the fastest lap of the day, Kelly Robin ninth, and Epic wins with the last point in 10th. Budweiser was the last finisher in 11th. A-Track Toaster, B-Tom, and Chargers did not make it until the end of that race. So, Mr. Sensation, your impressions with that one. Tell us all about it.
Well, I'll say that Bats Plus stopped 5 times, so that's I don't know if that's a record or close to it. I was kind of disappointed. I really thought more people would have been here for this. It kind of reminds me of poor old Vietnam, a track who never got to see any light. You know.
Yeah. I even forgot that track exists.
See? Oh, it's just happy for Forza. It's just it's just a little disappointed at the way it turned out.
I think overall it was pretty good, race here today. Obviously, really well done from Forzan. Really well done, honestly, from all of the drivers to survive a 100% race is already a feat in its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, another season. This season, I feel was just like so tiring because it was so difficult. It was so close that maybe a lot of the drivers here today are just really happy to be done with the season and with this race in particular, with a 100% race. It makes it really, really difficult to drive. So, well done for everybody. But let's talk to our podium finishers here. So, first of all, do we have TJ in the room with us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, TJ, congratulations on the podium finish there. Great drive here tonight. Great season overall. You have secured yourself P4 in the standings right at the last moment here with your fight with Darth Vader, as he's now known. But tell us about kind of the race here today, your impressions with 100% instead of 50, and just your season overall.
Well, thank you. And oh man, I am so tired. Oh man, nah,
I
the
bet.
battle, yeah. Oh, good to have you back in the booth, Sensation.
Thank you.
How you been? Oh man, but yeah, the battle, like I said, I think lap one I got spun, half I was spun by my teammate. I think he was trying to defend from Forzen and he kind of missed his breaking point. and they tapped me and they sent me to a half spin, and I dropped down to P4. And from there on, like I wasn't trying to get frustrated because I'm like, damn. But I kept my head down, kept going, and then I made a mistake because I think I lost concentration because my phone flashed right next to me. So like I lost concentration and I spun it into the wall, so I had to go into the pits and put on the hard tires. And from there on, I was just cruising, trying to see if I could go for a one stop strategy or try to extend the hard as much as I can and then pit and then try put on the softer mediums and try close up on the guys I had. And then fortunately, the safety car came out at the right moment. At the right, I feel like the stars aligned for me tonight because I was not expecting that. But yeah, the safety car came out, and from then on it was just me and professional all the way through. I think we battled for so many laps. Like I I relished those battles because we kept it clean. I think we went too wide in places we shouldn't even be too wide. Places
Mm,
that you can't even go too wide in a regular game. So
that's true.
I think that made mine. I don't care if I didn't like win or didn't finish where I started, but the battle that I had tonight, I think that sums up everything that I had this season. And overall, this season has been a good season. I came in as a rookie, and I proved that I belong here. And hopefully, next season I could still do the same and probably challenge for the championship. But yeah, and congrats to Forza. He came back and he won the race. That's crazy. He was
Yeah,
on
well
time.
done, TJ. Good season, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next season as well, as you said, challenging for that championship. But yeah, have a
Hmm.
great break, I guess. Great, happy holidays, and we'll see you next season.
But thank you. Wishing you the same.
All right.
All right, let's move on to who do we have in second? It was Mebe. And do we
Yes.
have Mebe in the chat with us? Mebe, are you here?
His mic is off. He's in the party. I don't know
Mebe,
if he.
can you hear us? Okay, I'm not sure if Mebe is having some technical difficulties, but we
Mm.
unfortunately cannot hear him. But we will just say congratulations to him on a great finish here tonight. Really good drive overall in the season as well. But yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go. We can hear you now. All right. Well, how's it been? How was your race?
Okay.
Tell us about your season overall. How do you feel about it? All right. And are we expecting you back next season, or what are the plans? All right. Okay. Well, that will be very interesting to see. Any questions from Mrs. Sensation?
Well, actually, a question to all three drivers. So since you're used to the 50%, and then tonight you did 100%, was it a little bit more easier because of the strategy? Because it's your tires are now in a different level than in a 50% race compared to a 100% race, strategy wise, if it makes sense to you guys. Okay. Okay.
Here, let's jump over to Forzan because he's one guy that I really want to speak to right now. Forzan, can you hear us? Hello?
Oh, jeez.
Well, he did join the chat, so I'm not sure if he can hear us or not, but let's give him a second here.
Oh shit,
Forzan, you
sorry,
here?
sorry, my mic was muted.
There we go. Everybody with the muted mics here tonight. Everybody's already checking out. You know, end of the season, they're like, I'm done with this stuff. Let me mute everything, turn it off. I'm out of here. All right.
Right.
Well, Forzan, well, first of all, welcome back. We haven't heard or seen you in quite a while. And what a comeback. You come back to the 100% race. Right before the start of the race in qualifying, I actually said, you know, we've seen Forzan, and he definitely is quick. He's had a lot of pace, especially in qualifying, but his big trouble is finishing races. And I even said that he picked the hardest race of the season to try and
Hmm.
finish because it's 100% and it's at Miami. And there you go. You come in and you blew it completely out of the water. You got the pole position, and then you also finished the race, and you finished first, and you got your win. Is this your first win of TCR history?
Yep, and my first podium.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Congratulations. Massive congratulations. Amazing drive here tonight. You had the pace. You got the gap on all the guys behind you. Tell us about it from your perspective.
Uh, well, I don't know what to say really. Like I was just doing my own pace. I'm so tired. I was tired throughout the whole race, so I was just doing the bare minimum to like keep the gap down to the other guys. I wasn't really pushing as much as I could have done if I would have
Oh,
slept a
wow.
little before. But yeah, no, it was a tough race by the fact that I very nearly fell asleep a couple of times the last 10 laps.
Wow,
Wow.
that's some good
Every
sleeping.
straight, yeah, every straight was, was like, no, don't, don't, no, but yeah, no,
And we,
no,
we
but
haven't really seen you much this season. Are you planning on coming back for a full-time position next season or anytime?
the plan is definitely to come back sometime. I don't know if it's gonna be next season, but I'm planning on it, and I'm gonna try to do it, and also like maybe I'm gonna be on my PC even next season
Nice.
if I race. So
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, I mean, great drive here tonight. Very clutch win of a 100% race and a season finale as well. Definitely very memorable. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see you very soon back in the league racing full time. Congratulations again.
thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right, folks. I think that is pretty much it. Mr. Sensation, first of all, massive thank you for joining me again throughout the season. I think you've been here for quite a few races, I think two or three,
Mhm.
helping me out in the booth. Really appreciate it. Tell us kind of, you know, your impressions with the season, with what you've been able to see, what you've been able to commentate on. Have you enjoyed it?
For the most part, it has been an exciting season. Congratulations to the Red Bull team for doing what they actually did in real life. Um, I don't think TJ is going to be Checo anytime soon. The next time, um, I mean, unless he got the backings of cash like that, then he could just keep doing what he's doing. But I'm just saying, I'm just kidding. It's I was just a little disappointed with the Miami race just because I thought it would be a little bit more of a turnout. But on the other side of that spectrum, a lot of people really maybe are happy to watch Miami in real life, but not race it on a game, and it didn't turn out the way I thought it would. So, uh, but it is what it is. But the season overall, it's been pretty exciting. the golden class, I got to give it up to. I haven't spoken to this guy in a long time. To GT. You know, had a probably the driver of the. You know, if there was an award, I'd give him driver of the year for just coming out of nowhere and nearly getting a championship. So and got any weed. You know, he did. Congratulations to him. He did a excellent job getting getting the chip. And who was it in your silver class? You just said his name tonight.
Rafa Hulk.
Rafa Hulk. Okay, congratulations to him. And hopefully next season, maybe have a couple of new drivers. Maybe some old drivers come back. Maybe you'll come back, hopefully. And you know, I know life takes over, so it's. I clearly understand that, brother. So I know that it is. But hopefully we, get some new stuff coming to TCR and see what the future brings.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for your commentary, for your help throughout the season. Hopefully we'll hear from you soon.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, folks, and also, again, massive thank you to all of you viewers at home that have been supporting us throughout the season with all of your likes and comments and subscriptions. We've gained quite a massive amount of new subscribers throughout the season, and hopefully we'll keep growing that number even more into the future. But again, massive thank you to all the drivers, all the commentators, all the stewards, all of the officials and the graphic designers and everybody else who helped us out this season. It's been a massive effort from the whole team, and it turned out to be a really, really awesome season. Huge thank you again to all of you viewers. Anybody who's watching that's interested in racing with us, make sure you check out the links in the description. But other than that, yeah, that's it for season 14. It was a long season. It was a tough one. There was a lot of different stuff happening, a lot of excitement, a lot of battling. If you guys missed out on any of it, all of the videos from every single class and every race are on our channel. You guys can go back and review those if you'd like. But that's it from myself, from Blue Machine, from Mrs. Sensation, and the Platinum class, and all of Trinity Competitive Racing for Season 14. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join us again when we're back in the off-season with some special events and podcasts, as we do usually on Mondays. And then we will have information coming for you guys very shortly about Season 15. But that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much. Have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All the best. Stay safe. And we'll see you very soon.